Okay, now let's recap all our signals when it comes to selling. We have a bull market, it's going up, 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 then it goes down, and we will explore the three alternative signals from which we can derive a sell signal. You will notice that there is no capitulation on the upside, so there is no blow off top, something like that. The mirror image of a capitulation in a bull market is really very difficult to find because, as you know by experience, when the market goes up and it goes even more up. Jack Shanep and I, we have tested several capitulation indicators on the upside, and it does not have enough reliability. So then we are left with only three alternative sell signals. The most usual one is the typical with the bull market high, there is a pullback, then there comes a rally, and then there is a breakdown. Instead of making a higher high, we fail to make a higher high, and then it breaks down, and then such breakdown would be our first sell signal. But sometimes we don't have this privilege, and instead of getting this sequence, the market continues going down, down, down without any rally pullback. Then comes the lows of the last completed secondary reaction. This was a secondary reaction to our help. So if the market starts going down in a straight line and we don't have the usual setup for a sell signal number one, then we have sell signal number two, which is, I repeat, the lows of the last completed secondary reaction. Always confirmation. I plotted only one chart for simplicity, but always you should think in the three indexes. And finally, let's imagine that we didn't have the privilege of having a previously completed secondary reaction because it was really a very strong bull market that went like that. So we don't have the privilege of having a secondary reaction. So then the bear definition, which I will bring to your attention, is 16% drop on both the Dow Industrials and the S&P 500. Then we have the bear definition. So as with the recap we did for buy signals, we have a very similar image when it comes to sell signals. You can see that the Dow Theory for 21st century is much more reactive because we have more tools in our toolbox to trigger sell signals. The classical Dow Theory only has exit number one and exit number two, the lows of the last completed secondary reaction. And to tell you the truth, I think that very, very few Dow theorists are aware of this signal, the lows of the last completed secondary reaction. But armed with these three alternative signals, once again, we are really very reactive when it comes to selling. So if you couple that we tend to be quite early when buying and we tend to be quite early when selling, then you get an excellent market timing system. Please mind that I say market timing, not trend following, because the Dow Theory for the 21st century, while it is 95% trend following, it has this small pinch of mean reversion through capitulation as a fourth alternative buy signal. So my conclusion is the classical Dow Theory is really a great timing instrument, no doubt about it, but the Dow Theory for the 21st century is even more accurate. Please refer to the textbook because there I give more explanation with comparative charts, and also I give links of really very in-depth research I carry out that really shows the net superiority of the Dow Theory for the 21st century over the classical Dow Theory.